to my channel. Welcome to the first tutorial series on this channel titled Python Tutorial for Absolute Beginners. This is a series that is aimed at teaching you how to program in Python even with zero experience in programming. In this particular video, we will talk about introduction to programming, introduction to Python programming, installation of Python interpreter, and we're going to program the Hello World program. So a friend chatted me up recently asking if I could write a program that can fill a spreadsheet with data from a file. The spreadsheet has about 10 rows and 156 columns. It's a task he has been doing recently and he was bored of it. Well, we won't get bored at such a monotonous task. So I wrote him a program that allows the computer to perform the task for him and allow him to spend his time on something else. So this is what a skill of programming can do for you. You agree with me that programming is undisputedly one of the most important skills in the 21st century. It's a skill worth learning. I personally see it as a tool to ease our life, to help us with our day-to-day boring tasks, to allow the computer to perform the tasks for us. So, knowing that this is what programming is simply the act of giving instruction for the computer to perform. These instructions might crunch some numbers, modify text, look up information in a file, or communicate with other computers over the internet. Some even do mathematical operations. So the list is just endless. You can write a program that can do just anything. So programming language is then the language that allows you to speak with the computer to perform those tasks for you. A succinct definition of computer program I could think of is to say it's a bunch of instructions that tells the computer how to perform a particular task. This bunch of instructions is actually made up of some basic instructions. The implementation of these instructions might be different in different programming language. The basic instructions allows the program to perform the basic operations in which almost all programs are made up of. The basic instruction in which almost all programs are made up of are the input operation, output operation, mathematical operation, conditional execution, and repetition. The input instruction allows the program to perform input operation, and this allows the program to receive information from the user of the program. It might be through any of the input devices like keyboard, microphone, just any of the input devices. It might even be from a file. And the output instruction allows the program to perform output operation, which allows the program to send information out to display information, which might be through any of the output devices or even a file. The mathematical operation could be addition, multiplication, or other basic arithmetic operation, even some complex mathematical operation. But don't be scared, you're not going to need much maths. The conditional execution, which I personally call selective execution, is about running some parts of a program and leaving some part based on whether a condition evaluates to true or false. It might be a simple if condition or some complex logic. And lastly, repetition. The repetition is about repeating some actions. The computer are pretty good at doing repetitive tasks. All major programming languages has provision for this basic operation, and the basic operation makes up any program, even the complex ones. There are a lot of programming languages out there. Wikipedia says about 600, but there are thousands of it. Some are unrecognized. The common and the popular ones are the C, C++, Java, JavaScript, Python. And this tutorial, as I said earlier, will be on Python. The main difference in these programming languages is the syntax. That is how things are done in different languages. A better analogy to understand this is the natural languages we speak. Each language has a way of saying things which might be different in pronunciation, spelling in another language, but they both call for the same action. A programming language can be compiled or interpreted. So what does these two alien words means? So let's say computer doesn't understand the languages we speak. It doesn't understand English, doesn't understand Arabic, it doesn't understand any language. It only understands 0 and 1, which is called the machine code. So compiled language is processed by translating our program completely into machine code by the compiler before the executor executes it and gives us an output. The interpreter processes the program little by little, or better said, lines by lines, and gives the outputs line by line also. Python is an interpreted language, while languages like C, C++, Java are compiled language. And this means we are going to need an interpreter to run Python. The Azure Python interpreter is available at the Python official website, which is python.org, and we are going to be installing that in this tutorial. Python is a very popular programming language because it's easier to learn compared to other programming languages thanks to the simplicity of its syntax. The simplicity of this syntax can be demonstrated with how this different programming language program the Hello World program. To demonstrate the simplicity of the syntax of Python compared to other programming languages, let's consider this simple animation. These three programs display Hello World to the screen. The first on the left is written in C, the middle one is in Java, and the last one is in Python. Even by mere looking, you could see the difference in the syntax and the difference in the complexity of the syntax of these three different programming languages. Even though Python is easier to learn, it's still a serious programming language used by professional programmers. Its simplicity and beginner-friendly syntax contributed so much to its popularity. And there are a lot of statistics on the internet that shows the popularity of Python compared to other programming language. One of them is this statistic on statistica.com that is based on the number of times the tutorial of a language is searched on Google. This statistic shows Python remains the most popular programming language as of 2020. And based on demand, there's a statistic on codingdojo.com that was based on the data that was scraped from Indeed.com. Indeed.com is a website for job posting. So this infographic shows Python has seen enormous growth from 2017 to 2020. The reason for the high demand of Python programmer in the tech industry is as a result of its uses in a wide range of areas like web development, artificial intelligence, mobile app development, game development, system administration, etc. Apart from these, I see Python as a tool to help me with my daily lives, like set reminder for an event, call mom by 7 p.m., set good morning text messages, schedule tasks, send email. The uses is just endless. So enough of this talk, let's get started with the installation of the Python interpreter. To install the Python interpreter, you just have to go to the Python official website, which is python.org. So on this website, go to the download page, then download the Python of your choice. Download the one for your respective operating system. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to download for Windows. You can download any of the versions from 3.6 to 3.9 because most of the things we are going to be doing in this tutorial will be peculiar to this range of version. The current and the latest version is 3.9, so download it, and mine is downloading down here now. So if you are on Windows, you download for Windows. If you are on Linux, download for Linux. Mac, if you are on Mac, download for Mac. So if you are on Android, you can also go to the Google Play Store to download the PyDrill. If you're on your Android device, you can go to the Python Play Store to install this application. So our Python has finished downloading. We cannot go about and install it. So to install it, click on the add to parts, then install now. Then we're going to wait for this to finish installing now. So the installation is done now. So why the Python interpreter we install now is the software that runs our Python program. We are going to need an interactive development environment and other software that will allow us to write our code. But luckily, the Python interpreter we installed came with an IDLE, but there are also some fancy IDLEs like PyCharm, Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, and other fancy IDLEs you can use. But in this tutorial and the ones to come, the one that came with the interpreter is enough for us, but we'll change it in the future if there is need to. So in order to open the IDLE, you can search through the applications on your system. Okay, my own is over here. So this is the interface of the IDLE. It has two parts. This part allows you to write your program as a whole and run it directly. The other part is called the interactive development environment that allows you to type your code line by line and run it immediately. So traditionally in the world of programming, the Hello World program is the first program to write, though there's no importance attached to it. It's just for tradition's sake. And for tradition's sake, that's what we are going to be doing now. So in order to write the Hello World program in Python, it's simple as saying print hello world. So in order to run this now, we are going to save it. Now let's save it as hello.py. So you can save it with anything you like, but the py extension is necessary because that indicates the file is a Python file. So in order to run this, you can either click on the F5 on your keyboard or the run on the screen. But wait, before you do, today's an important and memorable day of your life. So I want you to put your hand gently on the F5, close your eyes, and click on the F5. Boom. Yeah, that's our Hello World program. So if this is the first time you're writing the Hello World program, I want you to indicate how you felt in the comment section below. I hope you all feel like this lady over here. So as I welcome you to the world of programming, it is imperative of me to tell you about the journey ahead. I started programming at the age of 19. Well, I am currently 19. Yeah, I am a year 2 student of electrical and electronic engineering. So I started programming 8 months ago. I started in April. And one thing I've realized so far is that we only get better at what we do if we do it repeatedly. So as perseverance is near to master just any skill, programming included, there will be time that it will seem as if you've reached an impasse and that will seem like you are not making progress. So please, I want to urge you to kindly keep on pushing. Everyone feels like that at some point. If you are learning programming for the passion you have for tech like me, I have to tell you that following your passion takes courage, especially if you don't see the result quickly as you would like. But you've got to keep pushing. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and turn on the notification button to get notified of future videos. I look forward to seeing your comment and recommendations. Like or dislike this video based on what you think. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.